Gilbert, Hernandez. What's your thought on the Kings? Do you think anyone will go there? I think the Kings are in an intriguing spot, but they're not in a spot yet where they can bring in a big-time player. I think Tobias Harris is kind of the ceiling type of guy. You could go obviously, look, you get Harrison Barnes, you got Buddy Hield. I love De'Aaron Fox. He's an extremely fast point guard, improved a lot this year. I think you could get a guy like Harris, but if you're expecting them to get sit-downs with the KDs, even the Jimmy Butlers of the world, Klay Thompson, not going to happen.
Not going to happen. It's a really interesting team. You got to see what they got to do with Willie Cauley-Stein this summer. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch.
Yeah.
I don't really know where the Kings go from here. I think you just got to keep building on the young core that you have right now and then trust that veterans like Harrison Barnes will be able to kind of elevate their play a little bit.
You know what they are? They're what Denver was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good way
If
to
that core continues to progress up and one of those guys emerges as the primary guy, then you may have something there. So we will see. Karam Moani, what trade package would you give the Thunder to bring in a shooter such as Nick Batum? Well,
I'll tell you right now.
Nick Batum's best days are a little bit behind him.
And his contract is so ridiculously bad that there is nothing that Oklahoma City should offer for Nick Batum. I don't like that fit there just because of the contract and because of his level of play at this point in his career. I mean, just you don't put a package together for Nick Batum. The Charlotte Hornets would have to put a package around Nick Batum to ship him out, basically.
Our research department, by the way, is telling us that there is a Wyoming, Ohio near Cincinnati. That's why we call him Tom Dork Downey here at Chat Sports. Who is going to win the NBA Finals? Golden State or one of those teams in the East?
Who are you taking?
You know what? About a week ago, 10 days ago, I was actually starting to kind of lean Bucks just with KD being out. But you look at what Golden State has done since Durant's gone out. 5-0. Steph Curry's on fire again. Thompson's doing his thing. Draymond Green, by the way, is playing at an extremely high level. And Milwaukee offensively has been pretty uninspiring these last 2 games. I need to see a little bit more from them before I pick against the 2-time defending champions.
I'm picking Milwaukee. Milwaukee's beating the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. I'm saying it right now. Eric Bledsoe, all defensive, first team all defense, guarding Steph Curry. Malcolm Brogdon and Chris Middleton guarding Klay Thompson. You put Giannis on KD. Now if Boogie comes back, Brook Lopez is not going to be able to hold him down low. But I'm going to put it all out there. I'm taking Milwaukee.
Oh, you heard it here from this Mavs fan, Jimmy Crowther. Speaking of that, you can follow his Mavs account at all_things_Mavs on Twitter. MFFL, realistically, do you think the Mavs place – where do you think the Mavs place in the West next year? Well, obviously it depends on what happens this summer.
Right.
I think if your biggest move is that Kristaps is in your starting lineup next year, it's exciting. I'm not sure that gets you in the playoffs with the core you have. Be in the mix, I think they need to add more. It's not even because that would be a bad team. It's because the West is that good.
No, I agree. I mean, it really is. I think their ceiling with a healthy Kristaps Porzingis and no marquee free agents signing this year, not even marquee, but just second, third tier kind of guys, none of that. Their ceiling is a 7 or 8 seed in the West next year, assuming health is nice, but they could easily fall right out. But if you add a guy like, let's say you add Patrick Beverley and Danny Green to that starting 5, things get interesting. Let's say you add just Kemba Walker or just a Chris Middleton, something like that, then you can push into that top 5 as a ceiling. I still wouldn't put them top 4.
Yeah, got to be a busy summer for the Mavs. Got to figure out what they're going to do with Dwight Powell as well. Jeremy Bennett, what should the Celtics do if Kyrie doesn't re-sign with them? Lots of Boston talk today. I'm still going to stand firm. Even if you don't get Kyrie on board, I still think you explore an Anthony Davis trade. Otherwise, you kind of look at what you had a couple of years ago when they were 1 game away from the finals. You commit to building those young guys and playing with them more. Because a guy like Terry Rozier kind of got lost in the rotation this year. Jaylen Brown's production slipped. You need Jason Tatum to take that next step if you lose Kyrie. So I think you look at kind of that young core to take that next step forward.
And Boston's in a good place to sign free agents also. Like, not necessarily all the stars, but they're in a good place to where, let's say they bring back the same core minus Kyrie, they can bring in third-tier kind of guys for decent contracts and still stay competitive in the East like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to ask you guys, which NBA team do you hate? I think I know your answer.
What do you think my answer is?
Miami Heat?
Okay, I do hate the Miami Heat.
San Antonio Spurs?
No,
Houston Rockets?
I've learned to. There it is, Houston Rockets. 1 and 2, Miami Heat, Houston Rockets. I learned to respect the Spurs just because a great franchise. But
Classy organization. Top's doing his thing there. We want to hear from you guys. Which team do you hate the most in the NBA? Do you think the NBA? See, to me, the NBA, it's so much more of a players' league than a team league. Like I could name off 10 players I like or don't like much faster than I like this team or don't like that team. That's kind of whereas in the NFL or in like college sports especially, you can find teams you hate all the time.
Absolutely. Because my hatred towards the Miami Heat goes back to like 2006.
Yeah.
But nobody from 2006 is on the Miami Heat anymore now that Dwayne Wade's retired.
Shout out D Wade.
Thank goodness.
Get
Dwayne
some
Wade
comments.
retired.
Hate the Celtics, the Bulls. Jeff Rogers hates the Knicks. They're so bad. What's to hate? Gaming Paul the Smart. Lakers. Golden State Warriors. Durant's Warriors, absolutely. Get them out of there. Get Durant on the East Coast. I hope he goes to the Knicks, and that does not go well. Mitchell Wren, some guy in the back here. I hate the Dallas Harrisons. Don't get that one. Lakers are trash.
As a Lakers fan, I hate the Nuggets. That's weird.
The Nuggets?
That's really random to me. The Nuggets were like a team that everybody was kind of rooting for and kind of took their side. Them and the Trailblazers in the West.
I don't see how you can hate small market teams.
I know.
It doesn't really, except for maybe the Thunder if you're not a Russell Westbrook guy.
Or if you live in Oklahoma and you're not a Thunder fan.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out Oklahoma State. All right, let's get back into the questions here. Chili Most D. Ellington.
Chili
like that
Most
name.
Ellington.
Would Lakers take Dennis Smith Jr. for Mo Wagner and a second rounder? I just don't know what DSJ's value is at this point. The Mavs were so ready to move on from him.
I mean, I think
he's just a high volume, low efficiency, questionable locker room player.
that's fair. Even though he got traded from the Mavs, I'm actually still pretty high on Dennis Smith Jr. Mo Wagner in a second rounder. I don't think the Knicks would take that trade. Mo Wagner didn't do anything last year as a rookie, and then their second. I don't even think they have a second round pick. They don't have a second round pick in this draft, so it's a future second rounder, which is basically garbage.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Lakers. I don't think the Knicks take that
The
trade.
Lakers be like, cool, we'll stash DSJ on our bench to get rid of Mo Wagner.
I believe in DSJ. Think about it. You get DSJ and Lonzo Ball. It's 2 point guards, and they have right now he's DSJ and Frank Ntilikina. Next year could be DSJ and Lonzo Ball if this trade got pulled off.
All from that same draft. Michael Cothran, can Anthony Davis, Kyrie, and Durant settle for less money to play on the Lakers and play with LeBron James guys?
Nope.
Here's the thing. Like, I know you guys are fans, but guys don't take less. Not when you're in your prime. You know what guys take less? Like Jamal Crawford when he's 37 and he wants
Dirk
to go.
Nowitzki when he's 35 playing for the Mavs.
If you want to go chase a championship, like David West when he went to the Warriors late in his career, the Spurs.
Right. DeMarcus Cousins coming off an injury.
Got elite players in their prime don't take less. It just doesn't happen. Now could they get an Anthony Davis or a Kyrie? Absolutely. Durant's not going to go play with LeBron, but they're not going to take less. So you're not getting 3 marquee free agents.
Well, and Anthony Davis isn't even a free agent. I mean, they still have to trade for him,
you
right?
Trade for AD.
AD becomes a free agent. I believe it's next summer. So we could be doing this whole song and dance over again next year with AD, which would be really something to watch out for.
No doubt. So that will not be happening. Jeff Rogers, tell my man Mitch I said what's up, Raider Nation for life. There you got it, Mitch. A lot of Raider Nation fans tuning in for some NBA stuff today. I wonder if he's a Warriors fan.
The Golden Street Warriors?
The Golden Street Warriors.
As Mitchell Renz likes to
No
call
one
them.
understands that except for the people in our studio. Who is going to win the NBA Rookie of the Year? This social media thing late in the year with some NBA players and some media heads, apparently Trae Young made enough of a push to make it a race.
Apparently.
This isn't a race, guys.
No.
Trae Young had a really nice year, a great second half. Luka's numbers are better across the board. I mean, in no area was Trae Young better this year.
And he came out of the gates hot. He didn't finish quite as hot just from an efficiency standpoint, but his numbers were still great. Now, I want you guys to put it down in the live chat. Tell us who you think's going to win. So far, I'm only seeing Luka, and it's not
even close.
I want to see someone put Trae Young in there just so we can start an argument, but so far it's only Luka, and that's the right call. There's just no argument to be made unless you want to look at just the second half of the season, which isn't realistic because it's Rookie of the Year. It's not Rookie of the second half of the season. It's Rookie of the Year.
Keep this in mind, too. Even when Young had a great second half of the year, Luka still won Rookie of the Month every month.
Yeah, he's still putting up triple doubles. Like, the whole back half of the season.
Trae Young didn't win a single Rookie of the Month award, so it's going to be Luka Doncic. I wouldn't be surprised.
Wait, Trae Young did win a Rookie of the Month.
Did he win the last one?
Because it's Eastern Conference and Western Conference. So,
sure?
Yes, because Luka Doncic won all the Western Conference Rookies of the Month.
Well, ignore everything I just said. It's still going to be Luka. Nathan O'Brien, will the Nets sign at least one max like Jimmy Butler or Kyrie? I think they're going to get somebody. I just worry if you're Brooklyn that you swing and miss on Kyrie, you swing and miss on a couple other guys.
They're in the mix
maybe
for KD.
KD, that would surprise me.
Right.
If you're the Nets, don't panic and overpay for a Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I could see Jimmy Butler maybe. I could see it, but that would only be if Philadelphia, for some reason, keeps Harris over Butler, which that would surprise me.
Right, and D'Angelo Russell is going to be their number one priority. I mean, he's a restricted guy. I don't even think he entertains other offers. I think he'll go right back to Brooklyn, and we'll kind of see how that plays out. And I mean, they were a playoff team, and they pushed Philadelphia just a little bit. So if they bring back the same team, it's still promising, and it's better than it was in Brooklyn for quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting free agency all summer long. We'll have it on youtube.com/chatsportstv. We'll be live for free agency stuff, for the draft. Before we go, we want to hear from you guys. Shout out your area code. Again, subscribe below. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. Get us there. Get us there by the NBA draft later in June. Shout out that area code, and we'll see you next time.